Alright, this is a vlog, photo log, I guess you could say, from Florida last year. Went down and tried to kill some Osceolas, and this is how excited we are. It's me and my old buddy Russell right here. So jump in the truck, ride a bunch of hours, go down there. We left at 27 o'clock in the morning. So yeah, this is how it started. So it was pretty cool. And then we get down there. It's the first video of us. And you can tell a little bit weathered here. Been through a storm or two, or 12. And had some implications trying to get the bikes off the truck, and had some issues with that. But either way, didn't matter. We was going there to have fun. So it was a lot of good times, and a lot of good times in the future right here. Just they're coming up. If you just give it a little bit, they're coming up. And then here we have a pretty good video right here explaining how well bureaucracy works. The cool part about bureaucracy is that it takes a lot of planning to make a plan come to work, for the end result to not work, and not only to not work, but to make everybody involved with the planning process's life harder because it doesn't work. So it's actually a pretty cool deal if you just enjoy it a little bit. You can tell how excited we are by our faces. You can look at both of us and tell by the excitement. It's almost like we're going to a theme park and we're going to go ride a roller coaster. The anticipation of the fun, it's well on the way, well under the way right here, and it's a pretty cool deal, man. It's pretty cool, and I hope everybody at some point they get to experience the fun of bureaucracy and free permits. That was a cool thing that we got to experience, was a free permit. When you go to somewhere and it's free, like to walk in the door, but you still have to have a permit for something that's free. Like, the only way I could explain it is if you went to like Walmart and they were giving out samplers and they were free, but you had to go to the front to get a coupon to get it free. It was pretty cool. I enjoy it, and I think it makes us stronger as a nation when we do stuff like this. And I don't know why more people in more states don't do this. I think it was pretty cool. So we finished day one. Didn't do any good. Got some good intel on some birds though. A bird. But right now, it's sun's getting low. Need to be roosting. Figuring out, what we're gonna do in the morning and everything. But instead, what we get to do is, what do we get to do?
We get to find a permit to camp.
Permit. Why do you have to have a permit to camp?
Because it's a free permit, but you have to have it so you can keep up with where you are.
Cool. So you gotta have a free permit to camp on land that you've already bought. It's not a bad deal. It's not a bad deal at all. Russell's upset about it because he thinks that, he's upset because in order for him, if he does kill his Osceola, in order for him to get his turkey mounted, it can't leave the state of Florida. Is that right? So, got the paper right here. And they're doing all this research right now to help out with, figuring out what all the diseases are and everything that's going on with the wild turkey. And, sorry. sorry, that was the roads we paid for. But we're trying to figure out what's wrong with the turkeys and why they're dying. But we're not concerned enough to shut the season down. We're still going to let you come, but you got to get your free permit. So in order for us to get the free permit, what we have to do is we have to go and get service on our phone so we can get on the World Wide Web. Hold on. Whoop. Sorry. That was another bought and paid for pothole. But we have to go and get service, and the last time I used this website, it didn't work. So it's like Obamacare.gov, but it didn't work. Stay tuned. And then here we got a really cool photo that after we got all the bureaucracy settled, and we talked to Big Barb, which was pretty cool. Got to hang out with her. We had a pretty good staring session there for 6 or 7 minutes with no words explained, and it was a pretty cool deal because she was like the head of the HOA, and I had painted the front of my house pink, and you could tell like she didn't really like that. But at the end of the day, there was really nothing she could do, and I was just doing it just to be there, and I wasn't gonna move. And like she could, I guess she could submit a claim to the same board she's a part of, I guess. But at the end of the day, it was a lot of fun, and we did have a good time with her. And thank God for people like her holding the line and making sure everybody stays according to the law, even though we weren't breaking it. But here you can see we've got a really cool picture my buddy took of me as we're walking through the swamp there. It was it was pretty cool. And then here you can tell we got another one. Going out through some pines here, and my man Russell should be a photographer because it was pretty cool. But let's see what else we got here. Oh man, we got some sand, and every time I hunt Florida, I always take pictures of this because I grew up hunting in the mountains my whole life, and hardwoods. And you don't get this kind of scenery where I'm from. So, get to see the turkey tracks in there. And I always think that's pretty cool. But then we struck some gold, and we were hanging out, cooking coffee and getting everything ready for the next morning. And as we're sitting there, Russell's in there, and he's probably getting his boots out. And we'll dive into that here in a minute. But as we're sitting there, I hear something off in the distance that I'm 98% sure it was a turkey. And so I get him, and he's in there, and he's getting his catalog out with his boots. And I said, man, I was like, pretty sure that was a turkey. He's like, you sure? I said, I'm about 107% sure, but we can listen again. And then we end up hearing it. So here's the video for that. All right. What is this, third night?
Are you recording yet?
Yeah.
No. I was trying to do
third night?
Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night, Monday night.
Fourth night. Well, whatever it is.
Whatever day it's on. Yeah.
Anyway, it's the fourth night, and we're sitting here making coffee, and we just heard one over that way.
At camp.
Yeah, at camp. So
after hoofing it miles.
And he's legal.
Yeah,
He's legal. Yeah. So it's gonna be fun, dude. We're gonna figure him out.
We got him.
What do you think, Russ?
Check back in with you in the morning.
He is a sellout bird, though.
He is. Yeah.
So,
Yeah, you're gonna blow half a day on him. But he might.
dude, I'm telling you, dude, these birds have haunted my dreams forever. Because they'll occupy these little small areas, and you go in there, and you're sitting there, and you fool with them, and they'll gobble one time, hit the ground, shut up, you never hear from them again, and you could be 10,000 other different places.
Yeah, and like we said, you know, that was just a confirmation that there is a bird, in fact, right there. But we have a very good suspicion where some other birds are probably at. We don't have the verification, but in a bigger area.
No, we know they're there.
I mean, we know they're there. We don't know exactly where they're at.
We don't know exactly where they're at, but that's a big area. But we know where they're at, though. Somewhere in there.
It's a good problem to have.
It is a good problem to have, but
a better problem than we've had.
It's a way. Instead, looking at sugar sand, trying to figure out which way we're gonna go.
What way is that worm crawling?
Dude, I don't know.
It's a flip of a coin. I don't think
he's on that road.
Decision. I think he's on that road.
He's on that road.
And like we said, I think that road connects all the way through. So
here's another thing to think about: if you have somebody come in there on you. So you just took a sellout bird and you just blew it. Oh yeah, you just. Oh yeah, you just blew it out the water. So. Yeah.
I don't know. You go in there and that happens, or he don't gobble, or you don't see him or whatever, then you're like, God, that was a waste. And that's what I would think. But you could do that over here, these other places too. You go in there and not hear a peep. Maybe get some knowledge on some other stuff, other birds, other areas we want to be in. That's the thing about that spot too, is you're just looking at that one spot. You're not able to really, I don't think, get a good scope for anything else. It's just that alone.
Somebody needs to be in there though.
Yeah, absolutely.
Somebody needs to be in there. It's such a good problem to have, but dude, it's a terrible problem because
and we're gonna
there are so many bad things that could happen.
Well, that's any bird.
It is any bird, but when you're talking about a whole day, losing a whole day on this dude, that's a bad deal. But somebody has to be in there. We gotta hold them. We gotta hold them honest.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Somebody will definitely be in there in the morning.
Okay.
Might be a coin toss. Just like, all right, here's your day. Here's your first half of the day anyway. It's pretty much
some light on us.
There we go.
What are you thinking?
I don't think you're going to go wrong, but I don't think if it don't work out, then you know that I didn't make the right pick,
But you're also going to wonder.
You're not going to ever make the wrong pick on a bird that you know's there.
Yeah, that's right. But you're also going to wonder if I don't go to him. Should I have gone? Should I have sat there?
No.
No, it's such a good problem to have. Such a good problem to have, but.
Getting vicious.
Man, I'm thinking that's some V8s on them tonight.
That light up there, we need a bug zapper. We need an old school bug zapper.
Thermostat, we gotta put a turbo on this thing. But anyway, all right, we're gonna figure it out. All right. Here's the post gobble pre-game plan for the next morning. We're having a good time trying to figure it out, and we have no idea what we're doing. By the way, I'm sure y'all probably gathered that by the video, but it was interesting because where that turkey was, it was going to be a sellout turkey, and as you can tell by the video, by the explanation there, we ain't got a lot of room to move with this turkey, just based on where he was at, and well, we didn't kill him. I don't know how else to say it. We didn't kill him. So I went in there next morning, solo, Russell. He went to another spot. And so the next morning I go in and, this is what I seen. Absolutely beautiful. God painted a beautiful canvas that morning. And, I mean, it's just a joy. It's just a joy to hunt in places like this. But I got in a cypress swamp with this turkey, and he lit it up the next morning. I snuck in there super early, got in there, walked in tight on him, and the bird was off to the edge of this swamp, and he had, well, I guess he kind of had whichever way he wanted to go, but in my head, he could go into the swamp, or he could pitch down out in this palmetto kind of flat, and I pushed in there as deep as I thought I could get on him, and turns out I was right. I couldn't have gotten no closer to him, but once I got in there, I kind of got to scope it out because I'd never been in there before, and where that I believe these turkeys down there, I believe they got these little tunnels. They call them Mario tunnels. And I think they go into them. They go under the ground. Kind of like Al-Qaeda or maybe Taliban. And they kind of pop up somewhere else and maybe do a little VHS taping and send it to CNN or somebody like that. But that's kind of what they do. They just kind of disappear and you don't really know where they go. And like, I don't think a predator drone could have found these turkeys. I don't know where they went, but we ended up setting up on several turkeys. Don't really know what happens to them, but they just kind of disappear. And then here is the infamous Russell boot, as you can see right here on the top of the screen. It's a unique specimen. I think they grow them somewhere down in South America, and they have to ship them across seas to actually sew them up. And then they ship them back to America, and people like Russell buy them. But what it does is it provides bulletproof protection around the full leg. It's a pretty cool thing that they do. And I don't know if they're snake protected or not, but I do know they will stop a bullet. Maybe not, 30 cal, but the one thing they are not is waterproof. We proved that time and time again. As you can tell here, we're letting them dry out. So yeah, that's a good picture of his boots there. And then here we're actually talking about where Russell took his bath the night before. Really open scenery here. Everybody asks me every year when I go down there, they go, what's it like? Is it wide open, oak hammocks and everything? And no, it's not. It's nothing like what the magazines you see are, but this is what we deal with, and it's still a extremely beautiful sight. And from the pictures and the videos that I'm showing, it doesn't look like that, but it is a super cool thing to go down there and see that. So extremely happy to go down there and be able to hunt. But yeah, this is where Russell takes. What's the mid-morning update? Today is Wednesday, and what's doing? What's the mid-morning update? Today's Wednesday, day 62. I got my Sasquatch friend Russell here. We're hanging out in the community hall here. And Carl shot my turkey for a third year in a row. I think. Probably not. But yeah, we're just enjoying the big open woods. Just you couldn't ask for a more open scene, you know. Perfect. You got that right there. That's where Russell took a bath that last night. That's why it's all black. But yeah, we're gonna go try to find one in there. Yeah, see that? Good times. And then once we get done with digging into Russell's old stomping grounds, we go back into the thickness of the jungle, and we try to find a turkey. And if you can't tell right here, that pine tree is actually 700 foot tall. It was the tree that Noah's pigeon actually came back with a piece of green to let them know that the flood was over. And so Russell's halfway up that. So Russell's roughly 400 foot tall. And that is the green there behind him, even with his head. And then I'm actually right here below it. The camera angle's a little bit off, but I'm not 400 foot tall. So it was pretty tall. And we actually got down on our hands and knees. It was a pretty cool thing. We actually got down on our hands and knees and actually dug around and looked for the turkey tunnels underneath the palmettos. And we never actually found any, believe it or not. So they were not going underground from what we can tell, but an archaeological team would be able to confirm that. And then here, you can tell it was another specimen. This is Russell's tent. It's actually made for a very small child. Russell got it at a flea market, and he put a king-size bed in it, and his legs were actually sticking out of the windows. And in the middle of the night, I actually heard him hollering and screaming. And he had mosquitoes the size of muskrats in there eating on his kneecaps. And he said he didn't like it, so we actually took the bed out. We left the bed frame in there because he said he liked the hard surface of it. It kept him nice and straight. He's got back issues, and it's part of the deal with being 400 foot tall. Being a prehistoric animal like Russell, but he laid in there and he stuck it out for the rest of the week, and we didn't have to kick no snakes out, so I was pretty proud of that. And if you look here again, we got Russell's boots again, airing out again, because they, as I said before, are not watertight. They are bulletproof and they are snake proof. He never got to test those out, unfortunately, but they are not waterproof. So here they are drying out for, several hours. And then here we got to hang out, and you get to see me running down a road with a bad leg, which ended up turning into a blood clot later, which is a really unique experience. And if you ever get a chance to get a blood clot, don't do it. it's not fun. And yeah, my leg's still messed up today. So it's pretty cool. All that got to happen. And the extremely fun part about the end of this was once we got back and I went through the whole season here at the house, we ended up propping my leg up because it turned into the size of an elephant trunk, and it never got better, which was a really cool thing about it. And I didn't get to kill this turkey. I end up hearing this turkey, end up hearing him well over a mile, and got in there to him, and it was unfortunate, but Carl actually killed my turkey for the 18th year in a row. I mean, there's been like 3 classes of seniors graduate from high school, and I still haven't been able to beat Carl to my turkey. So it was a pretty cool experience too.
All right, out on the trail. Had one answer me twice this morning on the limb. He is deep down in there. I found this little road. It pulls me over in front of him. So me and Russell split up. We're probably about a mile apart or so, a couple miles maybe. But I don't know if you heard that bird, but bird's a lot closer to me, so I'm gonna head to him. But my lady, you and me don't want to work today. We're getting old.
And then here's us in the jungle again, and we're just enjoying it, as you can tell. And then why not finish off a Florida trip with a good little Florida gator right beside a nice little body of water. Same body of water that we probably crossed through several times with flip-flops on, because again, Russell's boots are not waterproof, and we went through there, and that guy was probably still hanging off of Russell's boots at the camp, drying out. So, and he was probably dried out as well. But that was Florida 2025. We had a great time. And I can't wait to go down there and do it again. It was enjoyable.